Zizi.
I'm Isabel.
I'm Sydney.
Today we would like to welcome you to our new show, United Cakes of America. Today we'll look up a new cake that is fun and easy for the whole family.
The creamy cake we'll be baking is a cinnamon swirl cake.
Make sure to stay tuned and listen to all the amazing chemistry behind this amazing cake.
Let's get baking!
Here are all the ingredients you need for the batter. 12 tablespoons of butter or 1.5 sticks, 1.5 cups of sugar, 3 extra large eggs, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/4 cup of sour cream, 2.5 cups of cake flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt.
First you'll need to pull out an electric mixer, then mix together the sugar and butter and mix until light. One at a time, add in the eggs. After adding in the eggs, you will need to add 1 1/4 cups of sour cream.
That is 1 cup. In a separate bowl, sift together the flour, the baking soda, baking powder, and salt. You should be sifting it right about now. The mixer on low, add the flour mixer to the batter. For the streusel, you'll need 1/4 cup light brown sugar packed, 1.5 cup all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 3 tablespoons of cut up unsalted butter.
For the streusel, place the brown sugar, flour, cinnamon into the mixer, and also add the butter. And then pinch it all together. This is what your streusel should look like.
Pour half of the batter inside of your pan. Then even it out. Next, you're going to want to pour half of your streusel over the batter. Pour the remaining batter over the streusel. Then even it out. Then you're going to want to pour the remaining streusel over the batter and coat it nicely.
Then put it in the oven and bake for 50 to 60 minutes. While the cake is baking, let's talk about the science behind it. To explain this all to you, we have invited 3 amazing scientists.
According to my scientific research, this cake requires baking soda for rising power. Baking soda helps the cake rise. It is needed in this cake just in case the amount of acid is not enough for the amount of baking powder. The amazing thing about baking soda is that it contains a mixture of baking powder and dry acid, so it is not dependent on the acid for the cake to rise. The butter in the cake adds a savory flavor, hiding all the unwanted flavors from the baking soda and baking powder. Because butter is a fat, when mixed with the cake flour, the butter will help the cake rise.
Vanilla extract is made by simply saturating vanilla beans in an ethyl alcohol water mixture. It is used to add vanilla flavor to all baked goods, and it mixes easily into batters. Vanilla is a flavor enhancer. This means that it enhances our ability to taste other parts of the baked goods.
A small amount of baking powder is required because the baking powder acts as a base and allows the cake to rise. This would not be possible without the acid, in this case the sour cream. The sour cream reacts with the baking powder to create a chemical mixture in the oven that allows carbon dioxide to form throughout the cake.
Egg yolks provide structure when they are mixing to the batter because they trap air bubbles in the batter. They hold the air in and help the cake attain a light and puffy rise. Eggs also enhance the flavor because of the fat content in them.
As scientists, we always try to figure out ways to change ingredients in the cake and still make it taste good. So what I decided to do was change the cake flour and replace it with regular all-purpose flour. This did not work. This is why. Regular flour contains about 11% of protein, while cake flour only has 7 to 8% protein. Protein is directly proportional to the amount of gluten in the flour. Therefore, using a flour with less protein is best because when the protein in the flour is mixed with the water, the gluten expands, making the cake rise. We want less protein in the flour because the gluten gives the cake rising power, and there are products in the cake like baking powder and baking flour that already make the cake rise.
I decided to switch out butter for olive oil in the cake. I found that switching them out was a bad idea. Olive oil, oh my gosh. Olive oil is a healthier option and contains good fats. Although olive oil doesn't have the same amount of flavor as the butter does. Butter in the cake, it adds a tremendous flavor and hides all the unwanted flavor from the baking soda and baking powder. Butter is also fat, and the fat in the butter helps the cake rise.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I decided to modify the sour cream with Greek yogurt. They both have similar flavors and have tangy type of flavors. Greek yogurt is the result of a bacterial fermentation of milk. This creates an acidic product. Sour cream has a similar flavor due to a similar process. The bacterial culture thickens and sours up the cake. The cake doesn't taste any different, but we decided to use the same and original. Thanks.
And that's how science works. Let's go check on the cake now.
One way to check to see if the cake is done is by sticking a toothpick inside the cake, demonstrated here by Zizi.
If the toothpick comes out clean, that means it is done baking.
Now the cake is ready to be taken out of the oven.
Make sure to wear oven mitts.
It sure smells yummy. This is the finished product.
Let it cool for about 30 minutes.
Let's see if it tastes as good as it smells.
This is great! That's all the time we have here on this episode of the United Cakes of America. We hope to see you next time.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our Facebook page.
Or hit us up on our Instagram page at United Cakes of America.
And stay tuned next Friday when we whip up a batch of our famous gooey chocolate chip cookies.
Bye!